Hey Marisela, thank you so much for asking this. And it came in stages, it came in steps, but the first and foremost, most important step is self-awareness. And realizing that the habits that you have right now are not serving you in any way, shape, or form. So for me, that self-awareness became very apparent when I felt like I couldn't have a single blueberry or else I was not going to be lean anymore. And also it was affecting my personal life, such as my relationships, and most importantly, how like I felt physically, because I no longer had a cycle. I was 13% body fat, and I'm sorry, but you are not meant to maintain that as a woman year round, unless genetically you can. But if you're forcing yourself because of a disordered eating habit, your body is not meant to be like that. So self-awareness is stage one. Stage two is implementing the foods that you were afraid to eat back into your nutritional intake. And the best way to do that in order to alleviate any binge eating, because that was one of my problems, was that I was a binge eater, was to focus on food volume. Which, if you don't know what food volume eating, it's essentially eating as much as you possibly can in the lowest caloric amount possible. And the way that is done is by incorporating more water-filled vegetables, fruits, anything with high water content that you can incorporate into your food intake. And that also means adding in more food swaps. Because as a former binge eater, and here's the problem I have with the intuitive community is like, oh, you can eat 2 to 3 bites. It's like, no, bitch, I want to eat the whole thing. And that was my mentality, is that I needed to fix that. It's like because I was a binge eater, I was seeking that full disgusted feeling still. And the only thing that saved me was incorporating food volume and food swaps. So instead of binging on 2 pints of Ben & Jerry's, I made a food swap. I made a compromise. Okay, well, I'll have 1 Halo Top and then half of a pint of Ben & Jerry's. That way I still satisfy the cravings, but I'm automatically putting myself in a caloric deficit, which equates to not gaining the weight overnight. Because the problem that binge eaters have is that psychological effect of wanting to eat as much as we possibly can, and then on Monday we feel absolutely horrible for ourselves because we're so bloated. But if you ate the same amount of food with the healthier version, you are not going to wake up as bloated, which is going to give you that positive momentum to alleviate your mindset and understand that, okay, there's progress here. Like, I don't feel bloated, so I'm still going to continue to do what I'm doing. And that's just the power of food swaps and food volume. It allows you to get that physiological response that we just so want badly because we're binge eaters, but in return, it still gives us results because we don't wake up as bloated and as heavy the next morning, which gives us that positive momentum that we need. So clearly this was all very surface level. I mean, whoever is watching this towards the end, I would love to hear your feedback if you really want me to dial down and like dissect what I did into longer videos, and I'm totally down for that.